Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. And today we've got a special one here. It is the translucent green Knockout. And I have to say, one thing that I've always been worried about is this plastic is not as durable as your standard plastic. That's just kind of a given with everything that comes along with it. But that aside, look at that. That is just some really cool detailing that, I mean, yeah, paint jobs are great and all, but, I mean, look at the cool little, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for it. You know, Drew back here would have been cool to have, like, brake-like paint and all that cool stuff, but, forget it. That's not important. This is really cool. You know, and I'm kind of digging the Decepticon purple and green on them. That looks really kind of cool and everything. You know, the molding for the wheels, I really like. You know, for all I know, this could be a black rim. So I'm down with it. I mean, yeah, it's cool. Now, one thing that I was uncertain about was the Decepticon symbol here. But, you know, the more I look at it, I do love it. I mean, it does kind of get lost a little bit with the detailing on the green see-through, but hey, it's sweet. I mean, his vehicle mode rolls really well, and just aesthetically looking, I've always kind of liked Knockout's vehicle mode. It's really kind of slick and everything. Like I said, it rolls real well, and you can do some James Bond maneuvers or what have you. Now, if you do see, he does have these molded pieces on both sides of the figure. That is for his spear that you see here. So you can plug it in on either side. We'll just go ahead and do it on this one since we're right here. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I've never been really big on, hey, let's stick a giant weapon on the side of a car. I mean, it's cool that Hasbro and Takara give you a place to store the weapons. I'm glad about that. It's just, whenever this is how it stores, it really doesn't do a whole lot. And one thing I did want to do was show you guys a little bit of a size comparison. Here he is with first edition Starscream. And you know what? They don't look too bad together either, honestly. You know, you kind of have, I've stuck this deal on the side here, but what the deal is I mean, really, they scale well with each other because, you know, in the show they were about the same size, honestly. So, you know, in vehicle mode, it's not too bad. He looks good with Starscream. There's really no getting around it. So anyway, let's take a look at Knockout and see how he looks in robot mode. So here we have Knockout in his robot mode. You know, you look at it, you're like, where are his wheels? They are back here, but I know in the show they're usually, you know, up higher and everything, which you can actually achieve that look. Now you see where his chest pieces are locked in right now. That's why the wheels are so far back here. You can readjust them and unlock them to make it, you know, kind of stick out a little bit more, to make it more, a little more show accurate here. And, I mean, yeah, you can do that. Now what it does kind of do is it does kind of make his chest a little bit wider, and I mean, I like having the wheels higher, but I like his chest looking a little bit more accurate, you know. Now his arms are really interesting because when you form his arms during transformation, this is like on like 3 or 4 different hinges. Like a lot of the cab part of the car just kind of wraps around itself basically, because if you have his arm here, let's see if we can take a look at this. There's the top part of it, and then this, you know, so you can kind of see his arms do kind of fold out all funky and such. His fists are really interesting because they've molded them thick enough to where he can actually hold his spear, which in a lot of shots you'll see this looking pink, but when you finally get it, it's just that black molded plastic. But overall, I mean, you've got a really good aesthetic. He stands very firm. I mean, basically the back half of his car forms his feet here. So, so despite the fact of little details that are missing here and there, overall it's a really good look. Now the arms are a little bit tricky because, again, you look up here, it's connected to the wheel, so you've got a little bit of flexibility. These things like to flap down a little bit if you're not paying attention, so this, you have to kind of position the door. You know, it'll slide up there, but it does kind of rub against it where if you slid his arm up like high like that. So His spear is really interesting because it can come apart rather easily. Now you can, if it does that, you can actually really, you can have him like have two-handed weapons or whatever, and really the hinge that's there, it serves no purpose in either robot mode nor vehicle mode. It's just, I don't know why they put it in there, but you know, whatever. And I love the head. The head is, I mean, it's just, come on, it's knockout. And the light piping is excellent whenever you have better lighting than what I got going on here. I mean, you can kind of see it a little bit, but yeah. And you know, the Constructicon colors for him in robot mode, they don't hinder it at all. And as far as size comparisons go here, you know, comparing Starscream and Knockout, they were more of the same height in robot mode. Now, when you saw these guys in vehicle mode together, they were a little bit more on par. And on camera, Starscream looks like he's just really kind of dwarfing Knockout, but like really, from where I'm looking at, they look closer in height. But on the camera, they look just like huge difference. I don't know why. But you know, I mean, even despite the height difference, I mean, yeah, they look good together, honestly. Starscream and Knockout, you know, and they were kind of buddies in the show anyway. So, you know, if you're going to be displaying them, they look good together. Robot mode, just aesthetically, I like it. You know, I already mentioned I'd like the wheels a little higher, but you know, if that's the only thing that's wrong with it, I mean, everything else about Knockout is really good. I mean, he's designed well. And if I'm not mistaken, there were many other of, I think it was like Smokescreen and ones like that. They were actually molded off of the Knockout mold. I'm pretty certain Smokescreen was, but I actually found on my Big Bad Toy Store, literally, this guy cost me $7 because he was on clearance. Don't let that fool you. This is a great mold, and it's a great color choice and just overall look. If you like Knockout and you want one that's a little bit different, a little bit unique, go for this one. It's a BBTS exclusive. He was on sale whenever I bought him. You just have to check and see if he still is. But yeah, I would definitely give my recommendation because this fits him. As a Decepticon, you can't get much more Decepticon-ish than with these colors right here. So anyway, that has been the review for Dark Energon Knockout, and more reviews to come.